In this video, I'm going to show you how to SSH into your Raspberry Pi and configure it for operations. For this process, you need a Raspberry Pi that is connected to a Wi-Fi network. For instructions on how to set up your Pi with Wi-Fi, reference the previous videos listed in the descriptions below. To begin this process, first boot up your Raspberry Pi. Next, we're going to check for Wi-Fi connectivity. Go to the search bar by the Windows icon and type CMD. Click or press enter to open the Windows command prompt. In the terminal that opens up, type the command ping SCUTTLE.locale and press enter. As is shown on the screen, you should see information on how fast the connection was transmitted. To begin the process of SSHing into the Raspberry Pi, first type the command you see on screen. This command is also referenced in the SCUTTLE Operation guide. The purpose of this command is to clear out previous references to SCUTTLE.locale. Once the command has been typed, press enter. In the terminal, you may get a host not found or host found message. This is to be expected. Now, to SSH into the Raspberry Pi, type the command SSH pi at SCUTTLE.locale. Press enter. You may see a warning message. Accept the warning message by typing yes and pressing enter. Next, you will be prompted to enter a password. The default password is raspberry. When typing in the password, the text will not be visible, so be careful that you type the password correctly. Once the password has been typed, press enter to log in. On the last line in the terminal, you should see a blue text that says SCUTTLE with a tilde mark next to it. This signifies that you have successfully SSH'd into the Raspberry Pi. If you see a permission denied message, simply retype the password and try again. Lastly, we're going to configure and update the Raspberry Pi. To begin this process, first type in the command sudo raspi-config and press enter. You should see a configuration tool menu like the one currently shown on screen. For this process, you will need to use the up, down, left, right arrow keys. Scroll to option 1 in the menu selection that says System Options and press enter. You should see another menu option. Scroll down to Hostname and press enter. You should see an instruction on how to properly create a hostname. Press enter to select OK. Here, you will create the hostname for your Raspberry Pi. Follow the naming convention on your SCUTTLE Operation guide, as the hostname should match your SCUTTLE device. You will be using this hostname the next time you SSH into the Pi, so make sure to remember it. Once your hostname is created, press the down arrow key to select the OK option and press enter. You should return to the configuration tool menu. Again, select option 1, System Options. This time, scroll down to Password and press enter. A message prompting you to create a new password will appear. Press enter. Create a custom secure password and be sure to remember it, as you will be using it to log in the next time you SSH into the Raspberry Pi. Similar to when entering the password while SSHing, the texts are hidden, so be sure to carefully type in your new password. Once your new password is typed, press enter. You will be prompted to retype your new password. Retype your new password and press enter. You should land on the password successfully changed message. Press enter and you should return to the configuration tool menu. Click the right arrow key twice to select the finish option and press enter. You will see a message prompting you to reboot the Raspberry Pi. Press enter to select yes. This will close you out of the SSH session and return you to the Windows command prompt. Wait for about a minute for your Raspberry Pi to reboot. Once the reboot is complete, we will SSH into the Raspberry Pi again. To SSH into the Raspberry Pi, type the SSH command, which starts with SSH space pi at. Here, you're going to type in the Raspberry Pi hostname you created. Complete the command by typing .locale. Press enter. You're going to be prompted to enter the password you created. Remember, texts are hidden, so carefully type in the password you created and press enter. Once you have successfully logged into the Pi, you should see highlighted in blue the hostname you created. This signifies you have successfully configured your Pi. Finally, we're going to update the Raspberry Pi. To do so, simply type the command sudo space apt -get space update space -y and press enter. Allow the process to run. Once the process is finished, on the last line of the terminal, you should see your hostname highlighted in blue.